Okay, guys, perfect. Let's get started without any further ado. Before that, a quick formal introduction on my end. My name is Mohammed Shoaib. I'm a cybersecurity trainer certified from EC Council, and I teach courses such as Certified Ethical Hacking, Web Application Pen Testing, and SOC Analysis, so Security Operations Center Analysis. Okay, and the demo that we have, or the workshop that we have today, is on the first course called Certified Ethical Hacking version 11. Okay, so this is like the foundational course that is required for people who want to jump from one domain to the other, specifically to cybersecurity, or if you're a fresher and you want to start your career in cybersecurity. Okay, so as the name itself says, this trains you to become an ethical hacker. But before that, what is hacking and what is ethical hacking is the main question. Okay, so just to get that out, just to get clear that out, I would want to ask you guys, in your terms, guys, what do you think hacking is? Again, don't worry, I'm not asking for any definite answers, guys, just trying to make it a bit interactive and fun. Okay, so can anyone let me know in their terms, like what do they think hacking is? What is hacking? Hello? Guys, am I
Is it like breaching the security and entering the something like that?
Breaching the security and entering, getting access to the
Valid,
devices?
getting access without any proper credentials.
Right, that's a great answer. Who was that? I'm sorry, I didn't know.
Yeah, this is Jaisima.
Jaisima. Hi, Jaisima. Good morning. That was a great answer, guys. That's absolutely right. There's nothing wrong in that. Is there anyone else who wants to add upon that? Anything else? Okay, no worries. But again, let me just build up on Jaisama's words or add on that. So if we had to define hacking, hacking is nothing but the procedure of trying to get access to information systems or information devices. Now, these devices could be anything. They could be as small as a mobile phone to as big as a web application server or a database. Okay, and this gaining access is done without the permission or the consent and knowledge of the person owning those systems. Okay, so this is done by the hacker. Excuse me, by the hackers for their own benefit. So once they get access to the system, they can steal the data or destroy the data or just sell that data to another black market vendor. Okay, so if hacking seems such a criminalistic task or malicious job, why do we have a concept called ethical hacking? Or how could hacking be ethical in the first place? Is the second question. Because we have a complete course called Certified Ethical Hacking. Because ethical is something which is completely legal and which is completely allowed. How could hacking be allowed, or how could hacking be legal? That's the main question. So if we had to define what ethical hacking, on the other hand, guys, ethical hacking is nothing but the procedure of trying to find vulnerabilities. Okay, a vulnerability is nothing but a weakness, a flaw, or you could call it a loophole in the security of the information system. Okay, so a hacker tries to exploit these weaknesses only. And your job as an ethical hacker is to find these vulnerabilities in the systems of the organization with the permission from them. Okay, so you work hand in hand. You work according to their laws and policies of the organization, and with their permission, you try to find the weaknesses in their organization. And once the weaknesses are found, you try to report them back. Okay, so this is done in order to report the vulnerabilities back to the authority so that they can be patched up. Now, once a vulnerability gets patched up, it is completely closed. Now, a hacker cannot use that vulnerability again to attack the system. So thereby, you are trying to increase the security of the systems of the organization rather than causing any harm. So ethical hacking, which is also known as sometimes called as penetration testing, is nothing but trying to find the vulnerabilities and removing those vulnerabilities in order to increase the security of the systems. Okay, so that is how hacking is different from ethical hacking. And these two terms are completely contradictory of each other. This is clear, guys? Any questions up to this part? So most of the time people confuse hacking and ethical hacking. So just to clear out that confusion, I wanted to give these definitions first to proceed further. Any questions or doubts, guys, up to this point? Okay, assuming everything is clear with everyone. Now, proceeding further, depending on these two definitions, guys, we can have the categories of hackers now. So there's basically three types of hackers. There's someone known as a black hat hacker, there's someone known as a gray hat hacker, and finally there's someone known as a white hat hacker. Okay, a black hat hacker is someone who performs hacking for his own benefit. Okay, they are also known as the cyber criminals. Okay, on the other hand, there are white hat hackers who are also known as ethical hackers or penetration testers, who abide by the laws and policies of the organization and work for securing the organization's infrastructure. In between, there's a gray area called gray hat hackers. Now, these people are quite mysterious. They have both the properties or the, what do you say, or the, again, let me just use the word properties, because they have both the qualities or properties of black hat hackers as well as white hat hackers. Okay, so like a black hat hacker, they don't ask for permission before performing penetration testing. But once they find a vulnerability, like a white hat hacker, they report it back. So they don't exploit it or they don't take advantage of it. They return the vulnerability back to the organization, but they don't do it for free. They do it for something known as a bounty, a reward. Okay, that could be a financial reward or a reputational reward, anything which benefits their financial or career or what do you say, career-wise benefits. Okay. Now, all these three types of hackers, whether that be a black hat hacker or a gray hat hacker or a white hat hacker, perform hacking in a systematic fashion. Okay, they follow a step of procedures known as the hacking cycle or cyber kill chain. Now, in a whole world, whether it be a black hat hacker or a white hat hacker, any of them needs to follow the same procedure. And they categorize the steps into various numbers. But if I had to summarize it up, there are 5 important steps, guys, for hacking or ethical hacking also. Okay, and the first step is known as information gathering. It can also be called as reconnaissance or footprinting. Second step is known as scanning, which can also be called as enumeration. Third step is known as gaining access. Fourth step is maintaining access. And the last step is reporting or clearing traces. Okay, so again, I'll be briefly discussing about each of these steps one by one, but these are the 5 important steps that we're going to be covering in our whole course of Certified Ethical Hacking. Now, the reason we have written "or" in the last step over here is because the first 4 steps are common, whether you are a black hat hacker, a cyber criminal, or an ethical hacker, a penetration tester. What varies or what makes the main difference between black hat and white hat is the last step. Okay, so if you're a white hat hacker or a gray hat hacker, you try to report the vulnerabilities found. If you're a black hat hacker, you would exploit those vulnerabilities, take advantage of them, cause the damage, and then remove the evidences, which is nothing but clearing traces. Okay, so these are the 5 steps of hacking or ethical hacking, which are known as hacking cycle or cyber kill chain. And now we'll briefly discuss about each of these steps one by one, so you have a clear picture of how hacking or ethical hacking is done. Okay, so any questions or doubts up to this point, guys? Jayasima, Azharuddin, Rama, Varun, Venkat, Surya, Srinivas.
No.
Good for you. So would you be covering like how is the market for this one and the career aspect as well as switching over to this?
Definitely, Jayasima. As once I'm done with this whole presentation, I'll let you know how the market is, what are the job roles that are there for cybersecurity and everything. Yes. Sure. So let me just quickly get this done with the presentation. So the first step, as I've mentioned, is information gathering. Let me move to the next slide. Yeah. So when we talk about information gathering, the main thing that any hacker or ethical hacker does before attacking a target is he tries to research information about the target. Okay. So he goes to the internet and tries to find information or tries to research about the organization. Okay. So information gathering basically is nothing but trying to gather as much information as possible about the target passively. What I mean by passively is that without the organization knowing, you try to, excuse me, you try to get that information from other third-party sources. Okay. Now, your main question would be, what kind of information are we actually trying to gather over here? And that is presented to you on the screen itself. Okay. So we try to gain information such as the IP address information, the range of IPs used by the servers of the organization, the who-is records to understand when the website was initiated, who is hosting the website for them, and the DNS records to understand the data in their DNS servers. Okay, employee details such as the contact numbers, their email addresses, their publicly disclosed usernames and passwords, and so on. Finally, if possible, domain names and subdomains of the organization and the operating systems used by the target organization on the server. Now, trust me, all this information for any organization is remotely available on the internet for any hacker or ethical hacker to obtain. But the thing is, you need to gather those gold mines, or you need to know those specific resources from where you can search for this information. If I give you a brief example, I can find the email addresses of any organization with a simple website called hunter.io. So if I go to my browser and if I search for hunter.io, this gives me the emails that are lead for any organization on the internet. So if I search for, let's say, wipro.com, and if I click on this, And if I click on find email addresses, this is going to give me the genuine working professional email addresses of the organization. And also tells us from which sources these email addresses were leaked. As you can see on their own websites or other third-party websites, these email addresses were leaked. And it also tells us what designation they're working for. Consulting partner, Chris Denton, then Soumya Swaroop is IT management, Abhinav Krishna is for marketing head, and Ikka Virta is for maintenance manager, and so on. Okay, so this is one good source for hackers or ethical hackers to perform phishing attacks. Okay, send fake malicious emails with malwares or perform fake social engineering attacks to get the usernames and passwords, and so on. If I wanted to get DNS information for any organization, there's a website called DNS Dumpster. And from the DNS Dumpster website, you can get the complete information for all the servers and the IP addresses of any organization. This basically gives you the DNS in server information or the records for any organization. So if I can search for wipro.com, this basically tells me how many servers they have, excuse me, and what are the different DNS servers, where is their geolocation, what are the DNS servers, what are the IP addresses, what are the host records, what are the different subdomains, and the complete network topology as well. So this shows us how the Wipro's devices or servers are connected in their domain. Okay, and this information is publicly available for anyone to access. Okay, the only thing is you need to know these resources from where you can get this information for any organization. Now, once you know this information, how do you exploit it and how do you try to attack the system is what we learn in the coming phases, which is scanning and gaining access. Okay, so again, in our classes, in the course duration, we're going to be learning about more and more different websites, more advanced websites as well, to get further, much more relevant information, like or crucial, confidential information. Now, after information gathering is done, then we go to the scanning phase. Now, scanning is where we try to get some extra information, which we could not directly get from internet. Okay, so in this phase, we try to make active connections with the target. Okay, so we try to send packets to the target's servers, and in responses, we get some extra information. Now, basically, when we talk about scanning, there's three parts to it. There's something called network scanning, and then there's something called port scanning, and finally, vulnerability scanning. In network scanning, we try to figure out in the target network what all devices or what all servers are active. So whatever firewalls or IDS, IPS routers, switches, client operating systems or servers, whatever is active, we can try to figure that out from our system remotely. Okay. Then we perform port scanning with a tool called Nma to figure out on those devices what ports are open, what services are running, and what versions of the services are running. Okay. Once you know the service is running, what the applications that the target is using, then you perform vulnerability scanning to figure out on the target system, are there any weaknesses that you can attack on? Okay, so for vulnerability scanning, we'll be using a very important tool called Nessus. So let's just go to the browser and search for Tenable Nessus. This is the tool that are used in organizations as well. So this is a vulnerability scanning tool. Again, in a real-time scenario, in organizations, they purchase the tool, which is around $4,000 per annum. Okay, that is 1 year subscription, guys. Now we'll be working on the same tool in our classes as well. So we have this is Essentials, the trial version as well, which can be used by educators or students or individuals starting their careers in cybersecurity. Now I already have Nessus loaded on my system. Let me show you how it looks like. This is how the Nessus tool looks like. You have your admin portal, and once you log in that, this is how your Nessus would look. So you have different scan templates with which you can perform all the different types of advanced vulnerability scanning in your network. Okay, you can perform a cloud scan or a system scan or an advanced dynamic scan. Once you scan the target systems, it shows you all the vulnerabilities in the systems. Okay, it categorizes them depending on the impact that they have. And in the real-time scenario organization, you do the same thing. Try to automate the vulnerability scanning part and find the vulnerabilities. Once you find the vulnerabilities, now comes the gaining access part. Now, once a report is generated like this, you have to verify the report if the tool is giving you correct results or false positives. Okay, and that is known as vulnerability assessment, which comes under gaining access. Okay, again, just trying to show you guys, again, might be getting a bit technical, but just trying to show you what all is done in a real-time scenario in organizations. Okay, after this, as I've mentioned, we have gaining access. Now, gaining access is a vast concept, guys. It covers a huge variety of topics. These are the list of topics. Okay, so the first topic that we'll be discussing is system hacking. Now, system hacking is a concept where I try to show you how hackers try to crack or bypass Windows operating system passwords. Now, whether that be Windows 7 or Windows 8, 8.1 or Windows 10, how do you crack that password? And if you're unable to crack it, how do you bypass it and get access to the internal files of the system? Then comes malware attacks, where you can remotely attack on systems. So malwares are nothing but malicious softwares. Okay, and there's tons and tons of malicious softwares on the internet. So we won't be going through all of them, but the most important ones, such as viruses, worms, trojans, spyware, excuse me, rootkits, whatnot. Okay, and I'll practically show you how these malwares are generated and how do you defend yourself from these various kinds of malwares. Then there's another bonus concept called malwares advanced. In this class, I'll be showing you how to create your own malware using Python programming language. Okay, again, you don't need to learn Python programming separately from anywhere else. I'll be sharing the resources for that, and you can write your own keylogger. A keylogger is a spyware which, once installed in the target system, it can capture all the keystrokes. So whatever the usernames or passwords or any random content that the user types on his keyboard can be remotely sent to attacker's machine via email. So we'll be learning that on Malwares Advanced. Then comes network penetration testing, where we learn all the common network attacks, such as sniffing attacks, man-in-the-middle attack, denial of service attack, or hacking Wi-Fi routers and cracking their passwords. All this comes under network penetration testing. Then comes social engineering, where we learn how hackers create phishing attacks. Okay, how do they replicate login pages? How do they create fake login pages and get the usernames and passwords of victims, and so on. Then comes web application pen testing, where we're going to be learning all the vulnerabilities on websites, such as SQL injection, cross-site scripting, broken authentication, and whatnot. And finally comes Android pen testing, where we learn how to hack an Android phone remotely via malwares. Now, this is a complete comprehensive course, guys, where we're going to be covering all the endpoints, whether that be a network endpoint or an Android phone, or a Linux system, or a Windows system, or a web applications. Every single thing is covered in the foundational course of Certified Ethical Hacking. After gaining access is done, then we come with, maintaining access, where I'll show you how you can maintain persistent connections. So even if the user restarts the system or shuts it down and starts it again after a long time, how do you maintain that connection and get access to a system? That is known as maintaining access. And finally, I show you how to generate a report or how to clear traces. Okay, report is where you're an ethical hacker. You have to generate a report and submit it to the authorities. Clearing traces is the bad hacker or the black hat hackers technique, where I show you how to clear all the traces or how log files are deleted and how do you prevent that as well. Okay, so that covers the whole course content, guys. So if not, I'll be sharing this file as well. I guess DurgaSoft has already shared this with you. And before we dive into all these advanced concepts, since not everyone is from the technical background, we also have a few prerequisite concepts. Again, these are also included in the course itself. Okay, so we'll learn basically what is virtualization, what are basic networking concepts and Linux concepts. So because the reason why we need to learn this is because we'll be using a tool called VMware. VMware is a virtualization technology software which allows you to run multiple operating systems on the same machine. So I have over here my Kali operating system. So this is my Linux operating system that we'll be using in our coming classes for performing penetration testing practicals. So in the whole duration of the course, I'll explain you how to install this whole lab setup on your systems so that you can remotely practice along with me. The whole course is divided in a 40-20 ratio, guys. Every day we'll have a 1-hour class where the first 20 minutes we'll discuss the theoretical concepts and the rest 40 minutes we'll do all of them practically. Okay, so there is no clickbait, no theoretical nonsense. Everything, every practical or every class I show you is going to be completely practical based with things that are done in a real-time scenario organization. Okay, no boring theoretical stuff. Okay, so once you're done with the introductory classes of virtualization, networking concepts, Linux and Windows commands, then we dive into the advanced concepts. Okay, so basically in the first 2-3 classes, we'll learn what is networking, what are IP addresses, what are IPv4, IPv6 addresses, what is the DHCP protocol, what is DNS protocol, basic networking concepts. Okay, if you're done with CCNA, this will be very easy for you. If not, also, again, we're going to be going from the very basic scratch. Okay. Then there's Linux and Windows commands to understand how to use a Linux operating system. You're going to get comfortable in the Linux environment. And then we dive into the other concepts, footprinting, scanning networks, and so on. Okay. So again, coming back to a question asked by a fellow student, I guess JSM. Again, cybersecurity is a very booming field, guys. Right now, there's a lot of scope in cybersecurity. Since the lockdown, most of your businesses have shifted to online. So there's an increase in websites, there's an increase in transactions online, there's an increase in traffic, and that also allows an increase in cyber threats as well. So therefore, all the organizations right now are focusing on the cybersecurity of their web applications or their organization or their networks. So therefore, there's a lot of scope for cybersecurity. There's a lot of job opportunities. And just in case, if you want to know what all job roles are available in cybersecurity, you can just go to a website called jobs.noel.co.community. Now, this is a website specifically for cybersecurity jobs in India. Okay, so this shows you all the jobs that are available in cybersecurity domain. Now, once you're done with the course, you can start applying for cybersecurity analyst or penetration testing job roles. Okay, so I guess this answers the question from Jaisamha.
Yeah. Okay. So how much is, I mean, generally the salary range or any package type? Just to
Again, Jaisamha, if you're a complete fresher and if you're starting your career in cybersecurity, you can expect a salary of around 35 to 40K per month. Okay. As you increase your experience in that, that could go for 1 or 2 years. If you're already experienced in other domains and if you're planning to shift from that domain to cybersecurity, then you can expect around 60 to 70,000 per month.
Okay.
Okay. Is that clear, guys? Now we can have a small Q&A session, guys, for all the people. So if you have any questions or doubts, you can let me know and we can clarify that and then we can end the session.
Hi, this is Rama.
Hi, Rama, I can hear you.
Yeah, I am from non-IT side. I'm HR side.
Okay.
How can this experience is addable for this to increase my salary?
Non-IT might not be addable, Rama, because if you are in a networking domain or a database domain or anything, those IT experiences can be added, but non-technical might not be addable. Although if you have some references and all, you could try to add fake or something, because that is what a few experienced people do from non-technical backgrounds when they're shifting. So if you have references, if you have contacts and leads, you can try that out. I'm trying to be crystal clear, as frank as possible. So that's how the job network works right now. You know that in the HR business.
Yeah, here we want to learn coding or
No. Again, guys, to clarify for everyone, in cybersecurity, there's minimum to low requirement for coding. Okay, so there is no necessity for any coding concept, coding language knowledge or development language knowledge. Nothing is required. And this cybersecurity involves you to understand the logical concepts of how attacks happen. Okay, and how do you prevent them? So we'll be working with a lot of tools which require minimum or no requirement of any coding language. Okay, so all you need to know is how to use these tools to perform attacks, how to defend attacks. Okay, so it's a very easy domain to get started with. No coding required, no logical thinking or no coding at all required. Okay, all you need to remember is a few syntaxes or understand how these tools are working in the background. Okay, and logically know how to prevent an attack. That's it. Other than that, nothing else is required. And again, before that, guys, I'm so sorry. I have a bit of a sore throat, so I'm not sure if my voice is clear or not. So apologies for that.
Yeah, your voice is clear, Muhammad.
Okay, thank you, guys.
Muhammad,
yeah, Rama, go
is there
ahead.
present work from home opportunities for this?
Everyone in cybersecurity works from home only, Rama. So whenever you're performing pen testing and when you're performing SOC analysis and all, you'll have access to the remote tools in the organization and you'll have work from home access on.
Do you need to install this VMware or cloud is enough? Cloud can't go with the cloud.
Jaisama, there are options for cloud, but again, as I've mentioned, the lab setup on cloud is not that fast. So depending on your system's compatibility, I'll be sharing all the resources to you, and you can install this on your system directly, and that's a lot faster. Okay. So whatever tools are required or whatever resources are required, I'll be sharing them to you, and that is included in the course fees itself. Yeah, guys, was someone asking me something?
Yeah, this is Rama. There are offline classes.
As of now, no, Rama. There are no offline classes. I'm teaching from a different location. The institute is in Hyderabad, but I am from Visakhapatnam basically. So I'm teaching from my home right now the courses. So as of now, there's only online support and there's no offline support as of yet.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Any other questions, guys, for anyone else?
Duration, like how many days?
Good question. I was about to come to that. The whole certified ethical hacking course is for a duration of 30 to 45 days, guys. Every day we'll have a class for 1 hour. So from Monday to Friday, we'll have classes only on weekdays, no classes on weekends. Okay. 1 hour class every day from Monday to Friday for 30 days to 45 days. Grace period of 15 just in case if someone falls sick. Okay. But max to max, it should be done in 35 days, the whole course.
So you need to do any certification after that, or it's just
you have an option of doing certification directly from EC Council. This is the organization that is presenting this course to you. Okay, so in case if you're planning on writing a certification, we provide support for that also. So you'll anyhow be getting a course completion certificate from the institute. But in case if you're planning on getting certified in cybersecurity, you can write a certification from EC Council for CEH version 11 exam. You'll have a certification exam of 125 questions. That will be multiple choice questions based. Okay. So out of those 125 questions, you have to get 75% of them right. So around 110 or 112 questions, you have to get them right. And then you'll qualify, you'll get the pass certificate. And that will be valid for 3 years.
how much will be the fee?
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, carry
I was
on.
asking fee part, yeah, and the ethical hacking certificate.
I'm sorry, I can't make out what you're trying to say. I guess there are multiple people speaking at the same time. Was there a question, guys? I'm so sorry, I could not hear properly.
And I was asking about the fee on the certificate.
Certification, yeah, that is around $500, Jayasuma. Again, we have some discount coupons and on. I have references with EC Council. So on a rough average, we provide proxy support as well, again, off the record, as I've mentioned. So then we pass guarantee from the institute. Okay. And yeah, it's around $500 on a rough average. So 37 to 40,000, depending on the US to India currency differences.
What is the course fee, present course fee?
Course fee, Rama, is around 8,000 rupees. So you can, if there are any course fee inquiries or timing inquiries, guys, please contact the institute once. Okay. So again, to be clear, course fees is around 8,000. Again, non-negotiable, guys, because that is the lowest price that any institute is offering. I work for a couple other institutes as well in Bangalore and all. They're charging around 20,000 or so for the same course. I'm the same tutor, and DurgaSoft is teaching that for less than half the price for the same content and even recordings as well. So every class will be recorded and uploaded to the drive that you can access whenever you want. Just in case if you're missing out any classes, you'll have the recording support for the backup classes. Okay. And that 8,000 rupees course is inclusive of all the recordings, all the tools, and all the support from the instructor. So it's a very cheap price, guys, for the course compared to other institutes. And yeah, that's that. If you have any queries, please contact the institute. For the course related, course fees or timings part, contact the institute. If you have any technical queries, guys, regarding the course or anything, here's my number on the screen. So you can contact me on this number. This is the personal number for the trainer.
Hi, sir.
Yeah, 1 second. Hi. Yeah, hi, Varun. I can hear you.
Sir, networking, I did networking course. Is there any use?
Again, that could be helpful for you. Again, networking is a very important concept required for cybersecurity. You need to know how computers communicate with one another, what are IP addresses, and how do you attack on those IPs. So that could be a bit helpful for you, Varun. In case if you're not, if there's other people who don't know these networking concepts, they can go through the course. They are included in the course itself. So it could be like a quick revision for you on the networking concepts.
Linux, no coding.
No coding required. All you need to know is how to use Linux commands, how to use a Linux operating system, and basic networking concepts to get started with the course. Okay. Yes, Srinivas. This course is also helpful for CompTIA certification as well. It's the same course content, no difference at all.
Sir, included, no coding is included.
Sorry, please come again.
No coding is included.
One part, again, a bonus concept in that I'll be teaching you basics of Python programming. Other than that, nowhere else is you require coding language. Okay. And whatever coding is required in this concept, I'll be teaching it myself. So no issues. You don't need to learn anything separately from anywhere else. If you have basic computer operational skills, guys, you can get started with the course. Okay. So there have been people or students from intermediate as well who have done the course. Okay. So all you need is a computer and how to operate that Windows operating system. Basic knowledge of that is more than sufficient to get started with the course. Okay, because whatever is required for the course, that is already included in it. So there are a few prerequisite concepts, those are already included in the course. Okay, so that you don't have to learn anything else from separate sources. Okay, so that makes it easier for students to understand the course a lot much better. Any other questions? Yeah, Varun, go ahead.
Institute provides certificates, sir.
Definitely, they will provide the course completion certificate. And if you're planning on writing the CEH certification from EC Council, we assist in that also.
Sir, job assistance.
Again, DurgaSoft has a lot of references, guys. So once you're done with the course, on DurgaSoft official website, you can find job postings and all. Just in case, as I've mentioned, I've shown this site as well. So I recommend this site for people once they're done with the course to start applying for a job on their own. Okay, so if you want help in building your resume and all, I can help you with that. Okay, and job support is also given just in case if you get a job and if you're not sure how to work in that, we assist in that also. Okay, so we can provide you listings, job listings or interview options where you can send your mail with your resume. Okay, and start applying for jobs. So we provide support in that also. And if there's any other queries for jobs and all, you can contact DurgaSoft directly. Hello.
Yeah, what will be the timings?
Timings, guys. Again, there's already one batch running at 9 o'clock, guys. We recently started the course. Okay, so there's 2 or 3 classes done for it. That's it. Basic introductory networking concepts and Linux commands. So just in case if you want to join, you can join that class. Or I guess they'll be starting another batch at 6 p.m. in the evening. So I'm not sure. You can ask the contact the institute once for the timings, guys. I'm only concerned with the teaching part. So the timings and all that is set by the institute. So if you're planning on making the payment or anything, please contact the institute and ask them regarding. Hello.
Yeah, regarding timings, Ali Muhammad, and the weekends, what will be the timings?
No weekend classes, Rama. As of now, there are no weekend sessions. There are only weekday sessions in the evenings.
The weekdays, it will be taken in the morning session or evening?
Depending on students' availability, Rama. So if the majority of the students are asking for morning session, according to their requirement, we'll adjust the timings. So it depends on how many students call up, contact back and ask for what timing they are requiring. So on that majority, I guess there's already one batch running at 9 p.m. as I've mentioned. So in case you can join that 9 p.m. batch. If you want a separate timing, you have to contact the student, ask for them.
Yeah, 9 p.m. is good.
Yeah, that is usually for working professionals. Those people come from their college office. So 9 p.m. is a very good time. So you can join those classes if you want. That batch is already running. We just started it last week. And we have taken only basic introductory concepts. And all the recordings are available. If you want backup classes, I can provide those backup also on the weekends. And you can join that course already, which is running at 9 p.m.
Yeah, okay, Mohammed. Thank you.
Sure. So yeah, that's it, guys. Nothing more to discuss. If you have any questions, you can let me know. Again, as I've mentioned, this is my number over here. If you have any technical queries, you can contact me on this number. If you have any queries regarding timings or the fees or institute directly. So yeah, that's that. Nothing more to discuss, guys. Have a good day. Yes, Sachin. Go ahead.
Online or offline?
Sorry, I can't hear you. Sachin, there's a lot of background disturbance from your end, so I can't hear you. Sorry? Okay, I'm assuming no one has any other further questions. So yeah, that's that, guys. Nothing more to discuss further for our session today. If you have any,
excuse me, Rama.
Yeah, Rama.
Yeah, you have opportunities in the government jobs or in this?
Definitely. Again, a couple of my students who have done the course try to apply for cybercrime departments in the government sector. So one of my students is work. Sorry.
How can we know that opportunities?
They post the openings on their website directly. So in the cybercrime web pages and stuff from the government portals, if there's an opening, they post it over there. What my student did was he went and joined as an intern first in the cybercrime office in Visakhapatnam. So from there, after that, he got a permanent job directly. So you can try, once you're done with the course, you can start applying for cybercrime departments in India. in the
Okay.
government sector.
Yeah, thank you, Mohammed. Thank you so much for this.
So yeah, that's that, guys. Nothing more further to discuss in our session today. If you have any queries regarding the timings and all, again, as I've mentioned, there is already a batch running at 9 p.m. guys. Only 2 or 3 classes are done for that. Only covered basic introductory classes. Okay, you have all the recordings for those already in the Google Drive. So once you're done with the payment, you can access the drive and go through the recordings. If anyone needs a backup class, we can take a backup class as well separately. Okay, and you can join that class at 9 p.m. If you want a separate
Yeah,
timing, please contact the
in the
institute.
website itself there, or
Sorry?
the backup classes will be in the website itself, or
No, not on the
maybe.
website. They have a separate Google Drive link for that. So once the people have made the payment for that, they can access the drive. Raman.
Yeah, okay, thank you, Mohammed.
Okay. And
When
thank
will
you
be
for
the
the
next
drawings,
batch?
guys. Sorry?
When will be the next batch? New batch. Will be started.
Again, not sure about that, Rama. And again, the timings and the batch dates are set by the institute only. So you would have to contact them. So I only deal with the teaching part. So if you have any
Yeah,
technical
okay.
queries, I can clarify those. Any queries related to the timings or the batch date and all, you have to contact the institute for that. So
Yeah, okay.
just today is a Sunday, so I'm not sure if they might receive calls or not, guys. Just in case if they're not lifting a call, just ping me a hi on my message. I will forward your information to the institute. Okay. And just to put that out, I'll just send my number in the chat box as well for everyone.
Your number.
Yeah, I've put
Yeah,
it in the chat box.
76800 is your number only.
Yes, exactly. 768-0069-768. So that's the number.
Yeah, okay.
So you can save that out. And if the institute is not lifting up the calls or not responding, just let me know. I'll forward your information to the institute. Okay. Since we work for different courses, they might take some time to get back to you. So please don't hesitate to let me know about that. Okay.
No. Okay.
So yeah, that's that, guys. Nothing more to discuss for our session today. I hope you liked it. I hope it was quite interesting and interactive. Again, apologies if my voice was not clear. I have a bit of a sore throat today, so sorry for that. And yeah,
No, you are very good, Mohammed.
Thank you, guys.
More information.
I will say very well.
Thank you so much, guys. Thanks for your feedback. I appreciate that. And yeah, I hope you liked it. Have a good day. Have a good Sunday.
Sir,
yeah,
thank you so much.
Sir, online or offline, sir?
Online, Varun, as I've mentioned, we'll have online classes every day. And again, it's as same as offline, Varun. Whatever tools are there, I'll be assisting you in setting up the lab setup on your own system, which you can remotely practice along with me directly. Okay.
Like remotely, sir? Any error you can.
Yeah, I'll be there to resolve all the errors. So whatever errors you have on your system, we can connect on the Zoom call.
Remote
I'll see to, yeah. So we will install the lab setup. So just like how I have my lab setup on my system, the exact replica lab setup will be there on your system as well. Okay. And you can practice on your system directly. And whenever you have a question or doubt, you have my contact number. You can contact me on that and I'll be there to resolve your doubts. Okay. So trust me, in a present scenario, online classes are doing a lot better than offline, guys, because you have 24/7 support. Offline, there's only 1 hour where you can contact me. And if you have any questions, you have to ask me again the next day. Online is a lot better comparatively from my experience, is what I've learned. So yeah, that's that. Nothing more to discuss further, guys. Online classes every day, 1 hour from Monday to Friday. Course duration is for 35 days. And yeah, that's that. We'll be covering from the very basics till the advanced concepts. So
yeah, Kali Linux.
Yeah.
Only Kali is the only be used.
There's multiple operating systems, Rama. There's Kali, there's Samurai, there's Parrot OS. But all of these are Linux operating systems. But the most leading one for penetration testing, or 90% of the ethical hackers or pen testers always use Kali on, because Kali is the official pen testing operating system. So you can go to the official website of Kali as well. Just search for kali.org. And this is completely open source, free for use. Anyone can download it free of cost. You don't have to pay a rupee, even a single rupee for this. Anyone can download this completely for free on their systems. It is open source and open and free of cost.
Okay.
Kali is the leading pen testing, the most advanced pen testing distribution, Linux distribution. Is this clear, guys? Any other questions or doubts?
No, thank you so much.
Okay, guys, perfect. So I hope you enjoyed the session. I hope it was good enough. If there's any feedback, just let me know, guys. And yeah, have a good day. I'll see you soon.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mohammed. Same.
Okay.
Happy
Bye bye. Have a good day.